Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV. For most of you, this will become not really much of a surprise. It is April, and usually this sort of time of year, we get another Moogle Treasure Trove event, and today was the announcement of the next one. So the next Moogle Treasure Trove event, the Hunt for Mendacity, will be starting on the 24th of April, so exactly a week from today at the time of recording, at 8 AM GMT, 1800 AEST, and will last until the launch of patch 6.4 sometime in late May. The rewards this time around, as you can see, are sort of mini previewed here as the Garabanian Plat, the Megalotragus, if I remember correctly, that's how you pronounce that, and the new item, the only new item added to the game for this event, the Porksea earring. Now, there's no tell if this is just a singular earring or earrings. We only have this one image in existence to show us what this looks like. So if you want to get this, you will need to get 100 tomes specifically. We'll look at the rest of the rewards in just a moment, but let's quickly go over how this whole thing works if you're new. Essentially, there are certain objectives that will be listed on the duty finder with an icon next to them. This will be a yellow and black icon with a Moogle head next to it. This indicates you will get a certain amount of these new tomestones, in particular from doing that duty, usually synchronized and with a normal party. Once you have enough of these tomes, you can exchange them at itinerant Moogles, which are NPC Moogles you may have already seen since they never left Eorzea, in the 3 starting city-states, as well as probably other places that I forgot about. But essentially, this is what you have to do. So let's go down to the big rewards. So you get the most tomestones of Mendacity from doing the Tower at Paradigm's Breach, one of the Near Alliance raids, as well as the Praetorium. So we're back to doing Praetorium spamming once again. Praetorium obviously is now a 4-player instance with unskippable cutscenes and takes still a relatively large amount of time, but arguably a lot less than it used to do. Both of those will give you 7 tomestones of Mendacity. Secondly, we have the Puppet's Bunker, giving slightly less, i.e. 1 less tomestone, giving 6. This is another one of the Near Alliance raids, probably slightly more palatable to some people. And 5 tomestones can be acquired from doing the Copied Factory, which is the first of the Near Alliance raids, which is probably the easiest of the 3. Beyond that, then, we have 3 or 5 tomestones, depending on if you win or lose in PvP. Specifically, Hidden Gorge is available on here for 5 or 3. Onsal Hakir Danshig Nadam, Fields of Glory Shatter, Seas, and of course we've got Secure here with Borderlands Ruins. So essentially this might be a great opportunity to work on your PvP mounts, especially for Hidden Gorge. The Revival Wings community is definitely going to be making the most out of this. I would definitely advise you look up that particular group. But yeah, you should see a lot more people in this older, more dead content, let's call it. Let's have a look at some of the other options then. 4 irregular tomestones can be acquired from dungeons. So we've got Hullbreaker Isle, normal mode, sorry, the level 50 original, Tamtara Deepcroft on hard mode, and Castrum Meriadnum. I would say Tamtara is probably the best option out of those. It's going to be interesting to see how many of these are going to be blue mageable. I know for a fact Tamtara might be an option there. And then we have 3 tomestones of Mendacity. We've got Porta Decumana, which is obviously Ultima Weapon, which recently got separated from the rest of the MSQ and given its own duty, aside from Praetorium. We've got Desmal Darkhold, Sunken Temple of Khan, and Cutter's Cry, which are all pretty much in the 40, sort of 38-ish region of levels. You get 3 for those. 2 tomestones for doing any of the Alexander sections. By the looks of it, I mean literally any of the Alexander sections. Yeah, we got Soul of Creator, Heart of Creator, Eyes, Armored Son, Fist of Son, Armored of Father. Yeah, so basically any of that. And we've got Castrum Marinum, which is Emerald Weapon, and we've also got Ruby Weapon on here, Cinder Drift, as well as Diamond Weapon, the Cloud deck. Very cool stuff. So, yeah, I don't think many people will be... I don't know. How quickly could you defeat Eyes of a Creator synchronized? That's a question. is it worth it? Who knows? Of course, people will min-max the best options. And like I say, if you've got your tomestones, go over to any of the 3 vendors in the starting city-states. Those are the coordinates on screen. Now, we are at the part of the video where I stop and look at every single one of these items, with the exception, of course, of the Porksy earrings themselves, because we do not have a physical image outside of the one that they show at the top of this page for what this looks like. So you'll have to use your imagination. It does say earrings, plural, so perhaps we are getting the treatment of 2 of these little piggies on your ears. I would be very upset if we didn't, but traditionally, a lot of the earrings sometimes are mislabeled and you just get with like one on one ear, which is always unfortunate. The rest of the items then we can definitely look at, so let's have a look at these together. So we're in the 50 tomestone range. So first of all, for 50 tomes, you can get the Magitech Predator Identification Key. This particular mount is still available and was originally available as well from the Alamigo dungeon added in Stormblood. It was a rare drop and still is a rare drop at the end, but you can spend 50 tomes to get that. Next on your 50 tomes is the Ixion Clarion. This will allow you to have the Ixion mount. Traditionally, you had to go to the locks, a zone in Stormblood, and you had to wait for a specific type of weather, use a Stygian Ash against a shielded Ixion, fight it in battle, get its tokens, and then exchange enough of those to get them out. You won't have to do that, you just need 50 of these tomes. The Megalotragus then obviously is something that was previously available. In fact, I have one in my retainer that I'm still finding someone to give. That will give will cost you 50 tomes, and it's a nice mount, honestly. It's pretty cool. We've got then, for 50 tomes, a Long Fall, if you know what this piece of music is. If you don't, then I'll let you Google that, because I'm not sure if I'll get copyrighted censored for that one. Then we have the Girabanian Plait, which is one of the nicer pieces of hair. This is something that unfortunately is unavailable to Viera and Hrothgar, so bear that in mind. It is a nice item, will cost you 50 this time around. Then we have a emote. Of course, we have the Insist emote, which is Empathic Elucidation. This will cost you 30 tomes. We're on the 30 tome section now. Then we have some ostensibly special Time Worn maps. These are guaranteed portals, if I remember correctly, for level 80 parties. So if you want to get some mats, you actually get 2 of these maps per exchange of 30 tomes. This will probably be the thing I end up doing, as I have most of the other rewards. The Cockern earring will cost you 30, which is an earring with a cockern on it. Then we have the Laurel Gobu horn. Of course, this is something that alternatively is available from a tribal quest. That will cost you 30. So will the Elbst, which again is the Cavalry Elbst from another tribal quest back in A Realm Reborn. Then we have the Ithon Nightmare whistles, which are obviously from Ifrit, and Nightmare is a rare horse mount that drops from any of those original horse-related primals. Basically Ifrit and stuff like Shiva and those ones. I wonder what a horse-related primal would look like apart from Ixion. Very interesting. Accidental sort of words there. So then we also have the White Lana whistle, the Demonic Lana. These are the bird mounts which were added obviously in Heavensward. Those are both 30. Then we have the Reveling Kamoi and the Blissful Kamoi, which is awesome. We've got Susano and, of course, Lakshmi, those 2 dog mounts for 30. Then we have MGP Platinum cards. You get 1 card, which is worth 50,000 MGP for the low cost of 30 tomes. That's not too bad, actually. Now we have some housing items to look at. So for 20 tomes, these are all for 20 tomes, we have the Floor Sofa, which is, funnily enough, a sofa for your floor. But we have the Red Brick Kitchen for 20 as well, which is a red brick kitchen. Then we have the Nomad's Tent, which is a very nice sort of yurt kind of thing. This is outdoors. Very nice, very nice, very nice. We have the Oriental wooden deck, which also costs 20, which is quite nice. If you don't like the T-set version, this is a good version as well. We have the Swag Valance for 20, which is a big curtain that you can hang up. It's quite nice, actually. If you combine this with other curtains, you can make like a stage area. Then we have the Homemade Cookie set, which is, funnily enough, exactly what it says on the tin for 20. And then finally, we have the Florist Counter, which is a big counter of florist stuff like flowers and things for 20. Now we move on to the 15 tome section. So we have the gear. This time around, they've decided to put in the bone wicker stuff again. They've done this before, specifically just the chess pieces. So we have the bone wicker protector's coat, which of course is the tank chess piece. These are all actual pieces of gear as well, by the way. They're 345 item level pieces of gear, but of course most people get them for glamour. Originally from Swallow's Compass dungeon, added in Stormblood. We have a bone wicker Skinner's mail, which of course is the maiming one. We have the Wildling's jacket, which is the striking jacket. We have the Shadows chest piece, which is of course ninja and rogue. We have the Tracker's coat, which is of course your ranged physical. We have the Bone Wicker Whisperer's jacket for 15, which is probably my favorite item on this list, which is the caster one. And then we have the Bone Wicker Soother's chest piece, which is the healer related one. All of those will cost you 15. They all look really nice. I think most of you will agree. And it's always nice to see more people try those on. Then for 10 tomes, we have the riding maps. These essentially increase your riding skill whilst on the ground in that particular area. We have Middle Lenosha, Lower Lenosha, Eastern Lenosha, Western Lenosha, Upper Lenosha, and Outer Lenosha. So guess what? All of Lenosha is available to you at a much faster way of doing this. Of course, traditionally you had to do hunt-related things to get these maps unlocked. Then we have some triple triad cards. First of all, for 10, we have the Gaelicat card, which is the 1-star Gaelicat card. Then we have the Vanu Vanu card, which is also for 10, which is a 2-star. Then we have, for 7 tomes, the Byakko card, which is a 3-star card, which is obviously sporting Byakko. And then we have Prometheus, which is actually from Gimlet Dark originally, right? Which is also for 7 tomes with the Driller robot, also known as Prometheus, which was limited availability in one of the seasons of Feast. Then we have 2 minions for 7. We've got the Wind-Up Succubus, which is great. It's been here for a very, very long time. And one of the most popular minions, the Black Hayate, which is the little doggo, and he's 7 as well, and you definitely want to pick him up if you haven't already. Then we have 2 pieces of music. We have the Fibbity Gibbet. That's how you say that. Wow. Okay, orchestra and roll. Got there in the end, which sounds like this. And we also have the Peace of Mind orchestra and roll, which is also for 7 tomes, which sounds like this. And then finally, we have 10 magic prisms of job mastery for 1 tome, which are the little fireworks. So again, there are some limitations on if these things will actually show on the vendors. They do put asterisks next to things that they say you have to have beaten the ultimate weapon before, and you must have completed Triple Triad and unlocked it, and an auspicious encounter for the auspices stuff, for the, obviously for Byakko and things like that. And the main scenario, Face of War, for example, and all of that stuff is listed on this page. I'll link the page as usual, but hopefully that visual reminder of what these things are will help you determine what you're going for if you're planning to actually go for anything this time around, or if, like me, you will likely just work on the Porksy earrings and then probably some MGP cards. Remember to make the most out of this event, though, even if there's something that you don't want on this list. Remember that people will be making the most out of this themselves, and the Rival Wings community specifically will be doing lots of runs of Hidden Gorge. So if you do need PvP related mounts and achievements and things like that, it would be a good opportunity to do that, even if you don't need anything else. But if you do need anything else, then you might as well kill several birds with one stone. People will be min-maxing this, myself included. It's likely, in my personal opinion, that Blue Mage runs of Tamtara Deepcroft Hard will likely be the way to go. Either that or Hullbreaker Isle. In short, there's no Aurum Vale, so that's kind of our Aurum Vale. It seems to be the best option. Remember, as Blue Mage, you can go in there, freeze everything, shatter it, and then like one-shot one of the bosses, I think, in here? I don't remember. But yes, there are obviously going to be easy ways of doing this, but you want to make the most out of it, and the most out of it might be PvP this time. So anyway, let me know what you plan to go for. Is there anything on this particular list that strikes your fancy? Let me know below, and I'll see you all next time. Have a great day.